Hello everyone, my name is Grover, a part of Team Mexico, and today we are going to be going over Country Report number 3. What we'll do is we'll begin with a summary of the prior two portions, and then we will go into our summary of how we decided upon a target customer base. Then we will delve into marketing situation analysis, marketing strategy, risk analysis and mitigation, cost analysis, and then finally our recommendations. So to begin on our summary for the prior two portions, what we did is conducted a foreign market feasibility study for moving our manufacturing facilities from the United States to a market with low-cost labor. So our project mission is to become the world's first cost leader in the market for electric vehicles. And the goal of this study is to find a market with low-cost labor that would be suitable for our operations. It came down to Brazil and Mexico. And here we have a rundown of the 5 contexts. And in the end, it turns out that Mexico is a clear winner. The political and social systems in Mexico are more stable, they have better policies in place, and there is also less government involvement in businesses, where the adverse is true in Brazil. They are less stable, and there is definitely more government involvement in business. As far as openness is concerned, both countries are very open to federal direct investment. However, Mexico has kind of an edge on Brazil in that they have more trade agreements and they have more partners that they can trade with or export and import with than Brazil does. As far as product markets are concerned, Mexico is a clear winner in this case in that they already have a large basis of Tier 1 and Tier 2 suppliers for the auto industry, and they also have adequate infrastructures such as roads, airports, shipping ports themselves, electricity, running water, etc. Where this is less the case than in Brazil. A lot of the infrastructure is inadequate for running a business at that level. Next, we have the labor markets, where again Brazil loses out to Mexico. What you have is a higher price cost per hour of labor in manufacturing in Brazil for the same skilled worker than in Mexico, where you only have to pay the worker $6.36 US per hour versus $11.20 US dollars per hour. For the capital markets, one clear drastic difference is that the corporate tax rate in Mexico is 51.7% in 2015, and in Brazil it's 69.2% in 2015, and nearly an 18% difference, which is drastic. So in the end, we concluded that manufacturing in Mexico as an area of low-cost labor was well suited for manufacturing automobiles. Next, I'm going to go into how we decided or chose a customer base as far as a country customer base is concerned. So what we did is we took some broad economic factors and paired them with more specific economic indicators tied to electric vehicles. And so the 3 main things we were looking for is the economy growing and stable? Is the sale of vehicles themselves, total sale of vehicles, fairly steady and growing? And then how well is the EV market segment doing? Do they have large sales volumes, and are their sales also increasing in growth year after year? So a lot of the analysis can be found in the Appendix A for additional detail, and on this page specifically, these tables are only showing the top 3 listed with the highest metric value. So as you can see on the scoreboard to the right here, China ends up scoring the highest, meaning that it is on the top of each one of these metrics, on the top 3, where the US is only on the top 3 of those charts. And so here you have China at 7.45% of GDP growth rate average from 2013 to 16, and USA is at 353. But they are still in the top 3% of the countries we chose to look into. Then you have total car sales, which is an overall economic indicator for the auto industry. If they are increasing, that is a good sign. And here you have a 5-year average for Mexico at 13%, China 4%, USA 3%. And so they're still in the top 3, but China has a little bit of an edge on the USA. And Mexico's numbers can be a little bit misleading because of the actual volume. We don't go into that here, knowing that the Mexico's volume is a lot less, and this is why this metric seems that much higher. As far as EV sales volume, electric vehicles, and growth are concerned, China is able to reach the top 3 while still having a large amount of volume, as is Norway. Norway and China have a large amount of volume and also have a large amount of growth in EV sales year after year, and their average is here, as you can see. And then lastly, you have EV sales volume by country from 2011 to 2016, where China and the US again make it back to the top 3. Where China is a clear winner here as far as sales volume and sales growth, and even in GDP, almost all metrics, although GDP can be a bit misleading considering their currency. But in the end, our recommendations are to begin exporting to the US, mainly because we're familiar with that customer base and the distributor network, and also the proximity to our new manufacturing plant in Mexico. So initially target the USA because their GDP is stable, meaning it's a healthy economy. Their EV sales are increasing, although it wasn't listed, it's about at 1%, which with their volume is quite considerable and is increasing over time. And then you'll also be able to save on freight because of the proximity. And the other recommendation would be to initiate another feasibility study for China, to see if manufacturing in China as well as selling to that market would be a good option. And now I'm going to pass it on to marketing situation analysis. Thank you.